नमस्कार। मैं अपने सभी दर्शकों का और अपने सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स का हार्दिक स्वागत अभिनंदन करती हूँ इंदिरा गांधी राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विश्वविद्यालय की ओर से। I extend a very warm welcome to all the participants, all the teachers from various universities and colleges who have joined us today in this session of the Professional Development Program on the implementation of the National Education Policy 2020, which is being offered by the Indira Gandhi National Open University. Today is the fourth day, you are in the fourth batch, and today is the fourth day of the session. And in the earlier 3 days, you would have gone through the live sessions on various topics pertaining to multidisciplinarity, use of mother tongue as propounded in the National Education Policy 2020, then the role of a motivated, energized faculty. So for you today in this session, we will be talking about student support in digital education vis-a-vis the National Education Policy 2020. So before we go on to the theme of the session and before I introduce you to our eminent resource person, I would just like to highlight a few things about this whole program. This is a 6-day, as you are well aware, it's a 6-day training program or an awareness generation program, a professional development program focusing on the salient aspects of the National Education Policy 2020, which we all know is the first education policy of the country in the 21st century. The earlier policy was in 1986 and now this was launched in July 2020. And this 6-day professional development program, which is being run by IGNOU, is totally online. It is on the LMS. Through the LMS you are being trained, and as part of that training it has various components like you would have gone through by now, since it is your 4th day today, you would have gone through the e-textual material which is available on the portal. That is, there are around 14 units on various aspects of the policy which have been compiled into 4 modules. Alongside that, we have large number of videos which have been prepared by eminent experts in the field of education, technology and diverse areas. So I'm sure you would be watching those videos as well, and from today onwards you would also be taking part in the multiple choice questions which are offered on the platform, and on the final day, that is the 6th day, you would be required to complete the assessment, the final assessment, which has 70% weightage, that is the assignment and the questions associated with that which you would be required to answer. However, the minimum duration is 6 days and we expect that you would complete the program in 6 days, but you are given additional 3 days, that is till the 25th you can complete the program. That is, you can answer the multiple choice questions and also complete your assignment in order to get the certificate of completion. So this is the general structure and it is available on the portal, on the LMS portal. You have registered on the Samarth portal, but the program is offered on the LMS portal of the NEP PDP, and all the material, as I just said, is available for you to access, and please go through. There is also a link which takes you to the National Education Policy 2020, which I'm sure all our participants would have definitely gone through by now. So coming to the session today, friends, I would just like to briefly tell you that and of course I'm sure you all are well aware that the policy is kind of the overarching goal and principle of the policy is to provide holistic, inclusive, quality education, and various new dimensions have been added to so that the values of lifelong learning are imbibed, along with the 21st century skills are also fostered, a commitment to sustainable development, to the holistic development of the individual through education and learning. That is what the policy postulates and formulates, and it has given us a framework to for the education, the policy planners, the educationists, the teachers, all of us to get together and implement the recommendations of the policy. Now, how do we go about that? That has been highlighted in the policy, and this program also exposes you to the various nuances of the policy and how you're going to implement it. Now, in this policy, the basic focus is on creating a digitally empowered India, a digitally empowered society by leveraging the various technology that is available, and the technology to be leveraged for improving the educational delivery mechanisms and processes which are in place, to improve those processes through the use of technology. So before we come to the theme of the session, which is NEP 2020, student support in digital education. To speak with us and to enlighten our audiences on this topic, I have with me to my left Dr. Sanjeev Pandey, who is a former senior regional director with IGNOU, an eminent expert and practitioner in the field of open and distance learning. I welcome you, sir, to this program. And just give me a few seconds, sir. I wish to introduce you to our audiences so for their benefit, so that they get acquainted with your a very brief expertise and the write-up that I have. Friends, Dr. Sanjeev Pandey, formerly Senior Regional Director IGNOU, he has the distinction of heading all the high enrollment regional centers of Delhi. We have 3 regional centers in Delhi, Delhi 1, 2 and 3. And prior to that, he has also headed regional center Lucknow. But the Delhi regional centers are high enrollment regional centers, and a lot of student support has been effectively delivered in his leadership. He has also held concurrent charge of Registrar of the Material Production and Distribution Division of IGNOU. And just to highlight the fact that he started his career as a lecturer in Delhi University, and then he moved on to the Management Institute under the National Productivity Council. Thereafter, he joined Indian Council for Social Science Research, and later he joined IGNOU in the year 2000. Basically trained in the discipline of commerce, Dr. Pandey is an MCom, and he has done his PhD in international business on the working of export houses and their variants and their contribution in the export promotion of the country. He was also awarded a short-term fellowship from ICSSR. Apart from this, he has also done the PG, the postgraduate diploma in distance education from IGNOU, and he was a part of the Indian delegation representing IGNOU to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to provide tele-education linkages through satellite and optical fiber network of the African countries through EduSat. He effectively coordinated the implementation and operationalization of the satellite interactive terminals at various locations all over the country and their effective utilization. He has also developed a certificate program in water harvesting and management in collaboration with IGNOU's School of Agriculture, and has also contributed by way of course units, research papers, articles, chapters in various books of IGNOU, and study material of the program of postgraduate diploma in international business operations of the School of Management Studies. Besides this, he has also contributed to various different policy documents of the university, delivered numerous talks, seminars, lectures, and so on. He has contributed in a big way towards expansion and consolidation of the learner support system, and has the unique distinction of being conferred the IGNOU Gold Medal for Best Services of the university 3 times for 2 regional centers where he served as regional director. For the first time, it was in 2004, he was felicitated with the gold medal at the regional center Lucknow, and then again in 2007 and 2015 for the regional center Delhi 2, which is presently the largest regional center in terms of student enrollment. Apart from that, he has been a member of various statutory bodies of IGNOU. Notably among them is the Board of Management, Academic Council, Research Council, Student Support Services, the Committee on the Research Council Standing Committee, and been a member, convener, chairperson of various other committees of the university which look into the expansion and strengthening the student support system. So we have an eminent scholar and a practitioner, academician, to talk to us on the theme of the day, which is NEP 2020, Student Support in Digital Education. May I request you, sir, to give your presentation on the theme for the day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Panji, for giving such an elaborate introduction about the National Education Policy 2020 and also the various facets of the policy document, which has gone in a big way in promoting the education system, bringing about a change in the education system in this fast changing and emerging scenario which we are all going through all over the country as also the world over. NEP, as we are all aware, was dedicated to the nation in the year 2020, July 2020 to be precise. And the basic aim at that time was to provide a way for a paradigm shift in the educational system of the country, to change the educational landscape as per the changing needs and aspirations of the individuals within the country and abroad as well, and also to match the educational system of the country, which is relevant to the emerging needs and requirements and the global ecosystem. And to that extent, the NEP has laid a major focus of providing holistic development of the individuals. This is being made possible by providing extra thrust in the areas such as creating that sense of more understanding about the critical thinking, more understanding about the awareness about not only self but also about the environment which we are working, and also the way in which we respond to the changes that are taking place. And this is one thing which we looking for, particularly when it comes to the providing the educational opportunities. Catering to the vast heterogeneous body of learners within the country and abroad, the policy documents especially lays emphasis on the role and importance of the open and distance education system. And it has been understood and very well recognized in the policy document itself that the ODL system has to play a major role when it comes to the propagating the opportunities, providing the opportunities of higher learning to a large segment of population, particularly those who are socially and economically disadvantaged, coming from different strata of the society. It could be those who are living in the margins, living in far-flung and remote areas, geographically difficult areas, jail inmates, coming from different social categories. So reaching out to them has been one of the major thrust areas. And of course, the another aspect which is very important is that providing equitable access of higher education to one and all at an affordable price. When we try to take into account these two particular aspects together, obviously there the role of the technology assumes importance. I'm sure many of our participants would be aware of this fact that Indira Gandhi National Open University, right since inception, it was established in the year 1985, and 1987 onwards, we started offering programs of study. And technology was one of the so-called cornerstones or one of the key components of the support which was being provided to the learners right since the initial stage. Initially, of course, given the development of the information and communication technology at that point in time, more and more reliance was placed on the audio and video cassettes and subsequently CDs, and then subsequently transformed into the telecast media, the broadcast media, and then over a period of time, just as the advancement in the ICT takes place, the use of the various electronic media has also taken a very important shape for providing support to the learners. And in any ODL system, the student support constitute a very, very important component, which is being discussed now in few slides beginning from now, about what constitute the student support and how do we try to provide support to the learners in the ODL system. Just as I said in the beginning itself, that NEP has envisioned and ensured equitable access to quality education to all, covering as much possible to as large population base possible is the main vision of the NEP 2020. And the emphasis, as I said, is on reaching out to all segments of the society, especially the socially and economically disadvantaged section of the society, to promote equity and inclusion in the higher education, creating better learning opportunities using digital resources for wider audience on affordable and equitable basis, because this is something which is very important. When we try to reach out to the masses, obviously the major thrust has to be affordable and equitable basis, with focus on lifelong learning, which incidentally has always been the main thrust area of the National University, that is Indira Gandhi National Open University, right since the initial stages, that learning is a lifelong process. So same has been reiterated in NEP 2020 as well, and ICT to play a major role in program delivery. In any ODL system, you see, the program delivery mechanism plays a very important role, and without the ICT intervention of the information and communication technology becomes very important, and without that it is just not possible to provide the support to the learners. Why at all do we need the support services to the learners? To facilitate them to make appropriate choices and decisions by providing proper guidance and counseling, to enable the learners to effectively utilize the study material provided by the learners. It is not only a set of the study material which comes in the form of the book, but a specialized kind of a book, what we call as the self-learning material, which has a unique way of presentation, a unique way of content development, unique way of segregating the entire subject matter. So how to use it, that also is to be understood by the learners. So all those things are required to be informed to the learners, which constitute the part of the support service, and then they providing opportunities of human interaction to reduce the sense of isolation. In any kind of an ODL system, unless and until human interaction, whether it is face-to-face or technology mediated, that interaction is a must, and the students, as per their requirement, as per their convenience, they need to have some kind of a guidance, some kind of a support from the host institution, which is provided in the form of the support service to the learners, and guide the learners to use various digital and social media platforms, which in the emerging area becomes a very important thing. Students are aware, the teachers are aware about the usage of the various digital and social media, but then how to utilize it effectively in the process of their study, that is what is something which is very important, and that's what we have been emphasizing upon. Advancement in the ICT in terms of the 4G, of the 5G mobile technology has indeed given the learners and other stakeholders easy access to the internet browsing, audio video streaming, use of various digital platforms, social media platforms, to have quick and easy access. All these things we try to provide support to the learners as to how they can use it and what way they can do it. Having said this, then we have to understand that what are the areas which normally the student expect to know about the education programs being offered, which goes in consonance with the requirement of their study. First and the foremost requirement is that the basic information support, that what are the various programs of the study which are on offer, what are the various admission requirements, fee structure, then what is the system of the assessment, which any prospective learner or even a current learner looking into the further education would want to know as to what way it is done. Then secondly, it is the institutional support. Who are the teachers, the academic counselors whom we call in our ODL parlance? Who are they? Where will the counseling sessions or the teaching sessions would be held? And then how the practicals would be conducted? Would they be comparable to the one which are being conducted in face-to-face mode, or else will there be any kind of a change? Then what are the various digital and social media platforms, including the electronic media, which are being effectively utilized for providing academic support to the learners? Where I'll have to go and attend my sessions. Of course, last 2 years, more than two and a half years now, things have dramatically improved, but still we are not yet fully out of the pandemic. So still, though the technology assumed a great importance, but the learning centers, the study centers, what we normally call, they assume their own importance and they continue to be there. So the students are interested to know what places they have to visit, which center they will be attached to, how the examination would be conducted, what way the assessment would be done, etc., etc. And apart from that, how the feedback on my work would be provided to me, whether I am going in the right direction or else it requires any kind of a change or what further improvement I can bring about. All those things are required. Now, when we further filter down the support services, we come down to the various aspects that what was conveyed in the earlier slide, that information support, that gets further crystallized in terms of the pre-admission counseling. That is the first component of the support service, that to know and inform the prospective learners, at times even the current learners, that what requirements the learners are required to be fulfilled, and then how they are going to do the study, and then what are the programs, what is the eligibility requirement, fee structure, duration, what flexibility the university system provides, so on and so forth. Then what are the schedule of the admissions, then re-registration, particularly for the annual programs of more than 1 year, bachelor's degree, master's degree, and some semester-based programs, where for every subsequent semester or year one has to re-register. Then how will I get the study material? Where will I have access to the study material? Whether it will be hard copy or the digitized format. Where will I get my counseling or teaching support, or what we call as the tutoring support? Who will be my teacher? When the sessions would be held? How the session would be held? Apart from that, the assignment component, the project component, dissertation, which constitute a very, very important aspect, the workbook, evaluation system, etc., etc. All these things, the students have this keenness to know how they are required to be done, and then what way the various digital platforms or social media platforms, including the electronic media, is being effectively utilized for providing support to the learners, including in the examination and evaluation. As was conveyed right in the beginning itself, that IGNOU has been using integrated technology mediated support to its learner through various e-platforms. Last 2 years has really been a game changer, not only within our own institution but countrywide, the world over. Technology has assumed a great importance by providing support to the learners, continuing uninterruptedly the academic support to the learners through use of the various e-platforms. It could be Zoom, it could be Google Meet, it could be Cisco, it could be WebEx, social media platform in at times live like Facebook, YouTube, some other platforms such as WhatsApp, Instagram, web-based support, electronic media, SMS messaging also has been an important support to the learners, email, etc., etc.
Sir, may I just interrupt you for a minute, because there are 2-3 questions. Our participants, they are asking, want to attend the session at Swayam Prabha, but they must already be logged into the portal. That's why they are able to ask your question over here. Yeah. However, you will get a recording of this video once this program is over. You can get it on YouTube. But if for the benefit of the viewers, if you want to know the link to this, it is ignou-nep-pdp.samarth.ac.in. So you can log into that and you will have access to this portal. May please continue, sir.
Thank you. The technology-enabled or mediated support to the learners have made a perceptible improvement in the interaction with the learners, academic counselors, and other stakeholders. Something which was particularly when we were students, when we did our studies, unthinkable that how could we provide academic support to the learners, how could a teacher guide to a learner sitting at a distance using the technology. Now that is something which is very clear, visible, and of course a reality, just as the participants are participating in today's program. Then application of 4G, 5G mobile technology have enabled the learners and other stakeholders to have easy access to various digital platforms, social media, IGNOU, the repository of the digital or digitized material, audio video streaming, etc., etc., which provides the support to the learners. Some of the major initiatives that has been taken by the university at Indira Gandhi National University, I'm basically talking about that we have taken to provide the academic support to the learners, and SMS has been extensively utilized to. It's a kind of a one-way communication to the learners, but it gives them the update about the various aspects about the admission-related matters, the confirmation of admission, distribution of study material, the induction program, all these activities, which constitute a part of the support service to the learners, commencement of the counseling session, the schedule, conduct of the program, then how the assignments are to be submitted, when they are to be submitted, what are the deadlines, all these things, including the placement opportunities, SMS has been extensively utilized. Despite the advancement, the changes that are taking place, SMS continues to be one of the most important support to the learners in terms of transmitting short messages about the various aspects of the program delivery. Use of web-based support or social media platform. Web-based, whether it is dynamic or static support, also assumes a very important thing, that what are the different programs, everybody wants to look into the so-called website of the university, everybody wants to look into the Facebook page of the university, the Twitter handle of the university, what all is being initiated, what are the new developments that are taking place. So on a regular basis, some information are dynamic in nature that keep on changing, keep on getting updated. Some remain static for a particular period of time, that this is what is a schedule. Say for example, your assignment questions, your assignment component, they would remain static, that okay, for a particular session, these things are there. So that is how different programs on offer, what are the different admission cycles, the result, grade card status, downloads about the various aspects on assignments, past key question papers, various formats which are being uploaded for the learners to facilitate them in the process of their studies, because many times we have experienced and found that students get bogged down not by the academic content but by the procedural requirements which they have to comply with, particularly when it comes to the completion of the program. So how is it to be done, what way it is to be done, all those things we have tried to upload on the website of the university, including the regional centers. Links have been provided all over the country so that the student can get facilitated, and most importantly, placement opportunities which are available. IGNOU is one of the front runners in terms of in the ODL system to provide placement information and also provide placement opportunities. A large number of learners, having completed their program of study from IGNOU, are being regularly placed. Large number of organizations, institutions, they approach us for placement related matters, and of course students have been successfully utilizing this support from the university for their placement.
सर एक मिनट आपको और ये रोकूंगी सर, यहाँ पर कुछ फरमाइश है कि बाइलिंगुअल इसको रखें, तो
ठीक है, बाइलिंगुअल कर देंगे
जी, थैंक यू,
बाइलिंगुअल कर देंगे। आई एम सॉरी, आई शुड हैव डन इट। और ये जो ये हमारी नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, ये राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति, वो भी इस पे जोर देती है, भाषा पे जरूर,
क्योंकि काफी हमारे दर्शक जो हैं इसकी फरमाइश
इसको करेंगे। शुरू से ही विश्वविद्यालय का प्रयास रहा है कि जो हमारा स्टूडेंट सपोर्ट है, जिसको हम बोलते हैं विद्यार्थी सेवा, वो बहुत ही जिसको रोबस्ट कहेंगे, बहुत सशक्त रहा है। और प्रयास हमेशा ये रहा है कि शुरू से, जैसे हमने बताया कि एडमिशन लेने से पहले से लेके कार्यक्रम पूरा करने और प्लेसमेंट तक स्टूडेंट को हम, विद्यार्थी को, शिक्षार्थी को हर प्रकार, हर संभव उनको हम सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड करते हैं। और जैसा शुरू में भी बताया, डॉक्टर हेमापंत जी ने भी कहा कि एनईपी 2020, राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 के अनुरूप विश्वविद्यालय ने बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव्स लिए हैं कि किस प्रकार से शिक्षार्थियों को हम लोग अपनी सेवाएं प्रदान करेंगे, जिससे कि उनके अपने जो लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, उनकी जो एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, उनके जो और अलाइड एक्टिविटीज़ हैं पर्टिकुलरली रिलेटेड टू देयर स्टडीज, वो पूरी तरह से संभव हो सके। और किस प्रकार से तकनीक का और टेक्नोलॉजी का हम इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, कहाँ कैसे इसका इंटरवेंशन करना है, विशेष करके एकेडमिक काउंसलिंग में, और किस प्रकार से टीचिंग करेंगे, किस प्रकार से सपोर्ट देंगे, किस प्रकार से स्टूडेंट्स सपोर्ट हम लोगों से लेंगे। आप में से बहुत सारे लोग जानते होंगे कि विशेष करके पिछले 2 वर्षों विश्वविद्यालय ने 100% काउंसलिंग, जो टीचिंग था, उसको ऑनलाइन कर दिया था इस कोरोना महामारी के चलते। और असाइनमेंट सबमिशन, प्रोजेक्ट सबमिशन, वर्कबुक सबमिशन, वो सब कुछ हम लोगों ने ऑनलाइन कर दिया था। तो वो ऑनलाइन कैसे हो सके, किस प्रकार से हो सके, उसके लिए हमने टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटरवेंशन को और स्ट्रेंथन किया और रोबस्ट किया। और अभी भी मेजर प्रोपोर्शन जो है हमारा काउंसलिंग का ऑनलाइन हम लोग करा रहे हैं और स्टूडेंट्स को एक सपोर्ट दे रहे हैं। और सबसे बड़ी खूबी और विशेषता इसकी होती है, विशेष करके वो कार्यक्रम जो क्षेत्रीय केंद्र द्वारा प्रसारित किए जाते हैं या इग्नू मुख्यालय द्वारा प्रसारित किए जाते हैं और फेसबुक या यूट्यूब पे चलते हैं, उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग भी उपलब्ध होती है। जरूरी नहीं है कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स इस समय कार्यक्रम चलते हैं वो उसको अटेंड कर पाएं अपनी विविध प्री ऑक्यूपेशंस की वजह से, लेकिन बाद में चूंकि YouTube से हम सभी लोग भली बात परिचित हैं और उसका किस प्रकार से अच्छा इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, उसके माध्यम से हम लोग इसके बारे में वो सारी सूचनाएं और वो सारी बातें स्टूडेंट्स को बताते हैं और वही चीज स्टूडेंट उसको देखते हैं। कैसे हमने क्या किया, अब देखिए ये जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है कि टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल सपोर्ट में कैसे करें। जैसे कि राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति ने ये बल दिया है, ये जोर दिया है कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों तक हम पहुंचे। वी ट्राई टू रीच आउट टू दी वास्ट सेगमेंट ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन विच इज heterogeneous body of learners drawn from different strata of the society, having different background, region, religion, areas, majority being educationally disadvantaged, economically disadvantaged, और उसमें बहुत सारे ऐसे भी लोग हैं कि जिनको हम लोग मार्जिन पे रहते हैं। तो किस प्रकार से उन तक हम पहुंचे, उसके बारे में भी टेक्नोलॉजी का बहुत ही अच्छे ढंग से हम लोगों ने इस्तेमाल किया है। जो स्टडी मटेरियल है, हार्ड कॉपी ऑफ द स्टडी मटेरियल हम लोग देते ही हैं, लेकिन उसको हमने डिजिटाइज्ड किया, उसका सॉफ्ट वर्जन किया है और इग्नू के वेबसाइट पे एक लिंक है ई ज्ञान कोश का। जिस कार्यक्रम में किसी ने प्रवेश लिया है उस कार्यक्रम का जो स्टडी मटेरियल है उसका सॉफ्ट कॉपी या डिजिटाइज्ड वर्जन इज अवेलेबल ऑन द लिंक ऑफ द ई ज्ञान कोश। जब तक स्टूडेंट्स को स्टडी मटेरियल नहीं मिलता है, हम लोग हमेशा कहते हैं कि भाई ये डिजिटाइज्ड एसएलएम जो है इट इज अवेलेबल एंड यू मस्ट ट्राई टू गो थ्रू इट टिल यू रिसीव द स्टडी मटेरियल। A very important aspect which I would like to inform to all our participants here that IGNOU offers 15% fee concession also to the students opting for digital study material. तो फी कंसेशन भी हम दे रहे हैं जिसमें कि थोड़ा सा और इंकरेजमेंट मिले स्टूडेंट को कि किस प्रकार से ये ई ज्ञान कोश के माध्यम से आप इसको ले सकते हैं। अपार्ट फ्रॉम ई ज्ञान कोश आपका ऐप बेस्ड जो है एक हम लोगों का एक इग्नू का ऐप है जो इग्नू ई कंटेंट के नाम से जाना जाता है, उसमें भी हमारे जो स्टडी मटेरियल है वो उपलब्ध है एंड द स्टूडेंट नीड नॉट टू गो टू लैपटॉप और open a laptop or open a computer, sitting at home while working, etc., like one can always access, केवल उसको download करना and you can access your study material whatever you want to. Academic counseling, which is an important part of the support to the learners, is something which is very important and crucial. Most of the other things which we discussed, particularly providing pre-admission counseling, is important, but equally important is the academic counseling support to the learners. And as I told you in the beginning itself, during the process as well that जो टीचिंग सपोर्ट होता है जिसको हम ट्यूटरिंग बोलते हैं वो किस प्रकार से ऑनलाइन किया जा रहा है, वो कैसे हम लोग डिफरेंट मीडिया को इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, खास करके हमारे जो ऑनलाइन और डिजिटल मीडिया है, जो ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, चाहे गूगल मीट हो, चाहे जूम हो, चाहे वेबएक्स हो, चाहे सिस्को का हो, सब जगह इसको हम लोग कर रहे हैं। और इसका जो शेड्यूल है वो नॉर्मली गेट्स अपलोडेड ऑन दी वेबसाइट ऑफ दी रेस्पेक्टिव रीजनल सेंटर्स एंड दे स्टूडेंट्स आर इन्फॉर्म्ड अबाउट इट दैट ये शेड्यूल है। और उसके लिए स्टडी सेंटर वाइज जैसा भी सेग्रीगेशन होता है, जिस प्रकार से करते हैं, बहुत से क्लस्टर काउंसलिंग भी हम लोगों ने कराई है। खास करके ये हम लोगों ने इनिशिएट किया था दिल्ली के क्षेत्रीय केंद्रों में, जहां पे कि स्टूडेंट की संख्या अगर बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है तो 3-4 क्षेत्रीय केंद्रों को मिला करके, 5-6 क्षेत्रीय केंद्रों को मिला करके उनका एक सोर्स के माध्यम से, चाहे वो एक रीजनल सेंटर के माध्यम से, एक टीचर के माध्यम से वी आर एबल टू रीच आउट टू दोज स्टूडेंट्स whether residing in Delhi or else residing in Rajasthan, residing in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, any part of the country, depending upon the type of the program in which the clustering of the student has taken place, so as to ensure that the support to the learner is provided. इसमें ही बहुत सारे जो हमारे कार्यक्रम हैं, खास करके काउंसलिंग वाले, वो सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म पे कम लोग इससे परिचित होंगे या वो होंगे, जिसको कि फेसबुक और यूट्यूब के माध्यम से भी हम लोग अपने कार्यक्रम को लाइव प्रसारित करते हैं। उसमें स्टूडेंट्स टीचर्स को देख सकते हैं, और टीचर्स अपना, चाहे वो विश्वविद्यालय के हमारे अपने स्कूल की फैकल्टी हो या हमारे जो सपोर्ट करने वाले जो टीचर्स हैं, जो एकेडमिक काउंसलर्स हैं, जो विभिन्न संस्थाओं में काम कर रहे हैं, वो लोग हों, वो टीचर्स भी जब संख्या बल स्टूडेंट्स की ज्यादा होती है, व्हेन वी हैव लार्ज नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, वी यूटिलाइज द सर्विसेज ऑफ द प्लेटफॉर्म, सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक फेसबुक एंड यूट्यूब। इंस्टाग्राम के माध्यम से, व्हाट्सएप के माध्यम से भी हम स्टूडेंट्स का छोटा छोटा ग्रुप बना करके स्टूडेंट्स को हम लोग इन्फॉर्म करते हैं। स्टडी सेंटर्स वाले अपना ग्रुप बना लेते हैं, कुछ स्टूडेंट्स आपस में अपना ग्रुप बना लेते हैं कि उनकी क्या एक्टिविटीज होंगी, किस प्रकार से वो लोग करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे, एंड दैट गिव्स एन इंस्टेंट प्लेटफॉर्म which provides an opportunity to the learners to get the required academic and other allied support. Apart from this, स्वयं प्रभा और ज्ञान दर्शन टेलीविजन चैनल, स्वयं प्रभा आप लोग भली भांति परिचित होंगे, ये कार्यक्रम का नियमित प्रसारण होता है, और इग्नू इसका एक नोडल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन का, जो कि स्वयं प्रभा चैनल के सभी कार्यक्रमों का संचालन इग्नू के माध्यम से होता है। उसके साथ साथ में एक ज्ञान दर्शन का भी एक चैनल है, जिसपे कि हम लोग विभिन्न प्रकार के प्रोग्राम्स, एकेडमिक प्रोग्राम्स के बारे में उसका लाइव टेलीकास्ट करते हैं, और उसका रिपीट टेलीकास्ट भी होता है। तो स्टूडेंट्स को, जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी बताया, कि नॉट नेसेसरली कि आप जिस समय कार्यक्रम का प्रसारण हो रहा है आप उस समय उसको देखें, प्रयास हम लोगों का रहता है वो करें, बट उसका जो रिकॉर्डेड वर्जन है दैट इज ऑल्सो अवेलेबल, एंड द टीचर इज ऑलवेज, इट कुड बी वॉच्ड इवन एट लेटर स्टेज, जब भी एज ए पार्टिसिपेंट, एज एन एक्सपर्ट, एज ए टीचर, एज ए स्टूडेंट उसको वो देख सकते हैं इन द रिकॉर्डेड वर्जन ऑफ द यूट्यूब, जिसका लिंक हम लोग वेबसाइट पे दे देते हैं, और वो स्टूडेंट्स आसानी से एज पर देयर कन्वीनियंस दे कैन वॉच द प्रोग्राम। लाइकवाइज रेडियो और वेब रेडियो, इसका भी बहुत अच्छे ढंग से हम लोग इस्तेमाल करते हैं टू प्रोवाइड एकेडमिक सपोर्ट टू दी लर्नर्स।
सर, खास तौर से उन इलाकों में जहां में भी कभी नेट की प्रॉब्लम हो, तो रेडियो और टीवी तो आसानी से उपलब्ध है,
पहुंच जाता है। बहुत बढ़िया आपने कहा डॉक्टर हेमंत जी। और आज भी दूर दराज के इलाके में रेडियो उतना ही प्रचलित है जितना कि पहले हुआ करता था। उसका प्रचलन ऐसा नहीं है कि उसमें कमी आई है। अब लेकिन इसके साथ साथ में जो चीजें हमने बताई हैं कि भाई जो टेक्नोलॉजी मीडिएटेड सपोर्ट होते हैं और जो टेक्नोलॉजी मीडिएटेड हमारे सपोर्ट टू दी लर्नर्स हैं और किस प्रकार से हम चाहेंगे. Not that everything is very smooth and without any problems. There are certain problems and constraints, what we call as the challenges of managing the technology-enabled support services.
क्योंकि इतना बृहद समूह है, इतना डाइवर्स
Exactly.
है, तो उन तक पहुंचने में कुछ चुनौतियों का सामना तो करना ही है, लेकिन वी आर वेल पॉइज्ड एंड वेल प्रिपेयर्ड.
प्रयास निरंतर करते रहना है और यही चीजें हम लोगों को ध्यान देनी है कि किसी भी उसमें स्थिति में हम लोगों को कम से कम ये जरूर देखना है कि चीजें सुलभ हो सके. सबसे पहला जो एक चैलेंज आता है, चैलेंजेस तो बहुत सारे रहते हैं. एक तो ये है कि एक इफेक्टिवनेस जो हमारा काउंसलिंग का है और इवैल्यूएशन का है, जो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द टीचर. Not all the teachers are equally motivated, not all the teachers are equally involved, not all the teachers they teach and evaluate with the same passion and zeal. थोड़ा lack of commitment हो जाता है. Not that they deliberately do it, at times because of their own pressures and their own preoccupations वो नहीं हो पाता है. तो lack of commitment, reliability थोड़ा सा support services को affect करती है टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से. विशेष करके जैसे इस समय हम लोग का ये कार्यक्रम लाइव जा रहा है, तो ऐसा ही हम लोग अगर देखें तो किस प्रकार से अगर कमिटमेंट टीचर का रहता है, अगर उसको सही ढंग से करता है तो वही चीजें अच्छी चल जाती हैं. अगर वो नहीं होता है देन ऑब्वियसली इट इफेक्ट्स. लाइकवाइज मेनी टाइम्स बहुत सारे टीचर्स, एकेडमिक काउंसलर्स बड़े शहरों में तो सुलभ हैं, लेकिन जैसा आपने पहले से दूर दराज के इलाकों में, छोटे एरियाज में, जहाँ पे किस प्रकार से टेलीफोन का इस्तेमाल करना एक चीज है, लेकिन टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करना टीचिंग में किस प्रकार से, अभी भी बहुत सारी भ्रांतियां हैं. देयर आर सो मेनी apprehensions in the minds of the people, the teachers, that what way it is to be done. तो उनको ट्रेन करना, उनको मोटिवेट करना इज इन इटसेल्फ ए चैलेंज. एंड आई एम श्योर दैट ये जो इनिशिएटिव लिया है यूनिवर्सिटी का, जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन के उससे बहुत सारे जो इश्यूज हैं दे विल बी एड्रेस्ड, not only in matters related to the support services but also all related matters, particularly the use of the technology in providing support and also in understanding the NEP 2020 in the broader perspective of providing support to the learners and what way the digital media can be effectively utilized to provide them. So ये ट्रेन करना, उनको मोटिवेट करना, एक और विशेष करके जो हमारे पार्ट टाइम बेसिस पे काम करते हैं वो थोड़ा सा क्वालिटी और सपोर्ट सर्विसेज को इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं.
या बिकॉज सर पॉलिसी में भी इसका थ्रस्ट है सेक्शन 23, इट्स अ स्पेशल फोकस एरिया फॉर ट्रेनिंग ऑफ टीचर्स इन यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर इम्पार्टिंग एजुकेशन और इम्प्रूविंग द एजुकेशनल प्रोसेसेस बिकॉज ऑफ द डाइवर्सिटी इन आवर population and the spread. So I think this is a very important aspect which IGNOU itself is also addressing, training and orienting our academic facilitators in how to deliver content and knowledge through technology use.
Absolutely correct. And what is important is that this platform of the training of the professional development program, this in itself is going to enable the participants and those who are attending these programs to understand some of the basic nuances, because a person who is well versed in the technological aspect will surely come as an expert and will try to explain and will try to give the various aspects which are to be taken into account. These are all finer aspects, Initially we have all type of apprehensions that what way we could do it, but subsequently, it could always be handled in a very efficient and effective manner to provide academic support to the participants and also to the learners. Despite all the advancement, of course, infrastructural facilities, including the required hardware to support the latest software and other technological support, that itself becomes a major impediment for us. What way it is to be done and how is it to be done, so that the जो सिंक है हार्डवेयर का और सॉफ्टवेयर का वो थोड़ा सा चैलेंजिंग हो जाता है कई बार, और उसको चाहते हुए भी एड्रेस करने में थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाता है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स many a times delay in timely review of the network learning support system and taking appropriate measures to strengthen it itself becomes a challenge, because this is something which is very, very important and we try to do it. How do we go about it? This is something which is very important. You know, efficacy of the delivery mechanism greatly depends not only on the efficient modes of the providing support services, but also on the individuals who in majority of the cases are not full-time staff of the university. You know, there is a distinct different, our commitment to the host institution, to the parent organization where we are working will be definitely much more. And when I am teaching on a part-time basis to some other institution, my commitment would be definitely be effective. Likewise, the ICT-based network support service should be subjected to a regular assessment. What are the impediments? What are the basic facts or problems we are faced with, and how is it to be done? Because all these things, they would come in the process of the effective implementation of the not only the program which you are talking about, but NEP as a whole when it comes to
do lots of pilot studies,
yes,
impact
yes,
analysis, all that is required.
Yeah. Then to achieve more efficient and effectiveness work procedure, as also the work ethics need to be changed, you know, to make the support system more receptive to the ever-changing needs and aspirations of the learners.
Okay.
You know, this is something which is very, very important. And we as an ODL practitioner should develop a professional approach to effectively harness the ICTs in providing support to the learners, which at times are unique and are to be handled differently. This is something which is very, very important, and if we are able to understand this, I'm sure that we'll be in a much better way to get the better understanding about the various aspects related to the support and the importance of the support services in utilizing the technology mediated support to the learners, and also the importance which has been attached by the NEP 2020. So this is all I feel that in a nutshell we had to say. If there is something we can discuss, otherwise we can continue.
Thank you so much, sir, for that very elaborate and a very precise presentation on the theme. We'll be back with the learners for the question answer session in a few seconds. Thank you.